You're watching Beyond Your Backyard Now with Erik The Travel Guy.
Thank you, Aaron Sega. We are back once again. I'm so incredibly excited to be here. It is Beyond Your Backyard Now for Monday, June 1st, 2020. Happy Monday. Hope you had a marvelous weekend. And once again, I say I'm excited to be here. And yet, even today, and throughout the course of the weekend, I was kind of wondering, is there ever going to be a time that I'm not excited to be here? And I'll give you a little insight on that real quick. We're already 10 shows into Beyond Your Backyard Now. Again, I'm incredibly proud of the work that we have accomplished. And yet, if that day ever comes, I will not do this program anymore. I make that pledge to you. We're not just going to phone it in, okay? There's nothing in the universe says we have to do this show, so we're not going to if we don't want to. I'm once again excited to be here because I'm excited to share with you what I have learned this past week in travel. And the reason I'm excited to share that is because this industry and this act of going on vacation is so incredibly enriching and rewarding. I have seen evidence of that on an almost daily basis since I decided to dedicate my entire life to it back in 2007 or 6 or whatever year it was. I don't even remember it anymore. It's just served me so well. Now, hold on just a second. You may be wondering what this program is about if you've never watched before, and if you have, you already know this, so bear with me for a second. This program is actually about you. It's not about me. Now, I know that if you go to my website, erikthetravelguy.com, maybe you're watching this program on our YouTube channel of the same name, youtube.com/Erik The Travel Guy. Yes, you will see my name, you will see my image. I'm in a lot of these videos, most of them. And so you might be fooled into thinking this is about me. It's actually not. It's about you. And more important, it's about choice. Now, I'd like that to just marinate for a second. Whether you choose to participate in travel is completely up to you. It's a very personal choice. Maybe you've gone on vacation before. Maybe you never have been on vacation. Maybe you didn't use some of that PTO that was given to you as a gift. That's okay, because we're not worried about yesterday. We're worried about now. We're not even worried about tomorrow. We're worried about today. We're thinking now. And I believe this information is so incredibly important, especially now. We have a worldwide health pandemic that we just kind of keep doing this with every day. Can we leave the house? Can we not? When can I get a haircut? Can I get a margarita delivered? Okay, yeah. We've got the racial discord that's bubbling up to the surface, right? We got state government, local officials, our federal government. We got all these things going on, and you can choose to participate in that if you wish. Just like you could make a peaceful protest sign and go down and join the group. You could write something on Facebook. Well, on this program, we're going to focus on travel. And for the next 30 minutes together, you and I, we're going to celebrate it. And I'm going to help you with ideas on where to go, what to do, where to stay, how to get there. Because again, if you choose to participate in travel, you've got even more choices. How are you going to get there? What are you going to do while you're there? What are you going to eat? Where are you going to stay? What are you going to see? Who are you going to go with? What time? I mean, there's millions and millions of choices. We're going to help navigate those waters for you on this program. And that is why we do this show each and every week. And it's not just me. Travel team, unite, my friends. Yes, there they are. Sal Esposito, Andrew Kalb, Harry Watson, Kevin Allen, Randy Gardner, Aaron Sega, Paula Rivera, and others, all dedicated to helping you experience the potentially life-changing positive power of travel throughout the entire vacation ecosystem. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go to my website. We made a whole video about it. On today's program, we're going to show you how easy it is to see this country or your home country on 4 wheels, 6 wheels or 8 wheels or 10. We're going to take you to the end of the world. We'll tell you more about that. Also, there is emerging information coming out of Central Florida as the Walt Disney Company has released new information about their reopening. We'll bring you all that latest information, and I'm going to reveal the secret to unlocking the most enriching, rewarding vacation you've ever taken. We're going to do that before the end of the program today. In the meantime, I'll take a moment here and take a look at one of my favorite places here in New York State. I'm going to have a seat at the desk while you take a look at this.
This is power, energy, force. Along the U.S.-Canadian border is one of the most unique destinations in North America, the incomparable Niagara Falls. It's the oldest state park in the United States, and it's where you'll see nature and gravity take its course, with millions of visitors each year getting wet and looking on in astonishment. Comprised of 3 waterfalls, the American, Bridal Veil, and Horseshoe Falls, Niagara Falls State Park stretches more than 400 acres, with close to 140 of those acres submerged underwater. The beauty of the falls is enough to move anyone, and the power of the falls is enough to move anything. 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, Superior, Michigan, Huron, and Erie, drain into the Niagara River before emptying into Lake Ontario in a breathtaking, orchestrated symphony of epic natural proportions. The water's velocity is 32 feet per second, hitting the base of the mighty Horseshoe Falls with an astounding 2,500 tons of force. See why people from around the world come to this part of the country to stand in awe at the cascading thunder that is Niagara Falls.
We get to talk about one of my all-time favorite subjects, which is Walt Disney and Walt Disney World specifically, just outside of Orlando. That's why Tom Corliss is here. He is the CEO and founder of, now hold on a second, Walt Disney World News Today, right? Is that what we call it?
If you want to say it all spelled out, yeah, but it just WDWNT.com is what most people know, yeah.
See, I want to be on the inside, Tom. I want to be buddies. Like, this is what I'm talking about. They say that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So how do you like not working?
I definitely think it's work. Until you're on the other side, you don't understand. Until you have to review every food item, you realize that not every snack in a theme park is good. And until you've had like a pumpkin spice churro that just tastes like cardboard, then it's work. So sometimes it's, don't get me wrong, I love what I do and it's all absolutely always fun, but
you are my people. When you can bring that right to a pumpkin spice churro, now we're talking. Like you and
that's how bad it was that I remember the flavor, the specific flavor. Yeah.
The reality of it is they call it, the most magical place on earth, and that's self-proclaimed, of course. But there is something special and something incredibly unique that sets Disney apart. Why do you think that is?
Emotional attachment. And they say that every time they have a shareholder call or earnings call, like they say what their strongest thing is their emotional connection to their audience. And the parks have always been that. You feel things. And that's why every time they close a ride, like people are in tears because, they remember riding it with grandma and all these moments in their life they spent at Disney World because these things do create that kind of connection and attachment to people.
Oh, I mean, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, need we say more? I don't think so. So here we are today. Disney comes out. We knew this day was coming, that they were going to say, here is the day that we're going to open. Paint that picture for us a little bit. Would you help us out?
So obviously, once it was okay for theme parks to open, the Economic Task Force here in Orlando wanted to hear plans from theme parks. Universal went first. And they moved very quick. They wanted June 5th, and that was approved very quickly. And then the next week, SeaWorld and Disney both presented on the same day. SeaWorld, a couple days behind Universal. They went open on June 11th. And then Disney had a very different plan. Disney's going to be July 11th. But there's a whole lot of caveats to that. Number one is they're going to do a number of preview days for their Club 33 members, annual pass holders, cast members, Disney Vacation Club members. They're going to open Disney Vacation Club resort hotels and the Fort Wilderness Campground starting June 22nd. And then once they do open on July 11th, parks are going to be reservation only. So you will need a reservation for a specific one of the 4 parks to access that park on any given day.
Let's talk about that reservation. Will that be for a set amount of time?
The way they haven't given us all of the details yet, but it should be for a day.
Okay.
So you will have a reservation for the Magic Kingdom on, let's say, July 11th. You may have a reservation for Animal Kingdom on the 12th, 13th. Maybe you have Epcot. 14th, maybe you have Hollywood Studios. You won't have more than one a day. And the idea is to control the capacity at each of the 4 theme parks.
And be able to know in advance how they can dial up and dial down. That makes a lot of sense. The idea of a park hopper these days is not the case.
No, they want to know where you are. They want to make sure they have the right amount of people in the right places when they do reopen.
Have they released occupancy numbers, meaning the right number of people? Have they said it's going to be 50% occupancy? Have they said that yet or no?
They said it'll be lower than the Shanghai number. So Shanghai Disneyland reopened a couple weeks ago, doing 30. They're allowed to have 30% of their park capacity. The park capacity for Shanghai Disneyland is 80,000 people. The Magic Kingdom is somewhere close to that. Disney doesn't release those numbers typically, but we know the Magic Kingdom is somewhere in that zone. But all the parks are different. Hollywood Studios is a very, very small park. That will be way less people, but demand is also high for that park. That's where they just built an entire Star Wars land. So it's going to be interesting to see how demand versus capacity works out for the first couple weeks of it.
And I do suppose it's helpful, every little bit helps, but even that guidance from the CDC recently saying, the surfaces probably not as much as the people these days.
Yeah. No, that definitely changes things a lot. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we were really focusing on wiping everything down every few seconds, which in the world of a theme park would be hard. There are a lot of surfaces. That being said, I mean, you certainly also have a lot of people. So that being said, it's just contact or close proximity to people doesn't really help a theme park either. But being able to put that energy into spacing people out rather than wiping a surface every minute might be helpful for theme park operation.
What's going to be different? Will it look and feel the same? What have they published? What's going to be different? What will not be present at this time?
Yeah, they have. So Disney Springs, which is the shopping and entertainment district, sort of like an outdoor mall, you could
Love
call
it.
For simplicity's sake, is already open. And they've even opened like the Disney operated restaurants and stores at this point. And so we can see with the absence of attractions, we can see how you would operate shops and restaurants. And with their biggest store, the World of Disney, they're limiting the amount of people in. There is a text-based waiting system to enter. So you show up in the morning, you can give them your phone number and they'll text you when it's your turn to enter the store. So that way they can pace out the number of people in the store. And then for the one Disney operated restaurant that's running already, which is a counter service or a fast food restaurant, they're doing mobile order only, and they page you when your food is ready. And then you can come in and wait 6 feet apart from people. They call you to a specific pickup station. You get your food and you go to a table that all the tables have been spaced out already, so you're not close to anybody while you're enjoying your food.
Okay. Masks or no masks, and for whom inside these parks?
Masks are for everybody 2 and up. They actually just changed it. They lowered it to the age of 2 just yesterday. So ages 2 and up, you must wear masks. The only time you're allowed to take it off is when you're eating. So if you're seated at a table and dining, that is when you can take your mask off. Otherwise, the mask has to be on.
Same with cast members?
Absolutely. Cast members, and they don't eat on stage. What Disney calls when you're out in public on stage, cast members don't eat in front of guests. So they're not taking their masks off at all in the public eye for cast members.
That being said, speaking of cast members, I mean, we're going to need a picture with Pluto, my all-time favorite, but that's not going to happen either right away.
You can get a socially distanced photo with Pluto. So what they've done in Shanghai, which is actually really cool because it's actually a different opportunity. Typically at Walt Disney World, you wait in a line and you meet a single character. What Shanghai has done is actually put groups of characters together, and you can stand sort of 6 feet in front of them and get a picture with a whole. So imagine instead of getting just Pluto, you can have the whole Fab Five, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto in one picture. Yeah, you're not hugging them, but it's still a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, but again, Tom, that's the problem. When you get that close, as you and I both have many a times, then what happens is the crying. Not on their part, on mine as a grown man. I mean, really, because I hate to admit it, but in person, you get a little emotional seeing them that close anyway.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, kids and kids are definitely going to want to run up to them, right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that all is policed and works.
If I understand it correctly, too, no fireworks.
No fireworks, no parades, no live entertainment, nothing that can draw a condensed crowd.
Got it.
So they won't do any of those event type things. That being said, we've seen atmospheric entertainment tried at some of these other places. At Disney Springs right now, they rolled out the Stormtroopers. They're up on a second floor balcony away from guests, but they're up there and they're just doing their thing, telling people to move along and threatening people. And so, you can have this atmospheric entertainment at the least, and it seems that's more of what they're going to do. So you may see a live band somewhere, but they might be like far away from you up on a balcony or something. But they're going to try to keep those hallmarks of a theme park experience just with new guidelines.
How about the hotels?
And with fewer people, they're also not going to be doing Fast Pass. Fast Pass has been completely removed from their website and mobile app. So they're letting you know now with this short capacity, they're going to do a lot of virtual queues, but no more Fast Pass line. You're not skipping any line. Some attractions, they'll call you when it's time for you to go so they can control how many people are in there. But with the park already down to 20 or 30% capacity, they don't seem to feel a need for a Fast Pass service to exist. They have said several times that they believe you'll be able to do everything with no problem. So that was our whole thing in Shanghai is even though we're doing things differently with the capacity where it's at, you should be able to come and visit and do everything you could possibly want to do that's open in the time frame they're open.
Well, here it is on the 29th of May. And of course, the minute this date passes, it will become dated. But my question, can you still buy tickets for opening day or are they already gone?
They're not even on sale yet.
They're not.
So what Disney has actually done, which is crazy and a lot of people are very upset, they've kind of hit a restart button. They have canceled anything that's not a resort reservation. So they've canceled dining, fast passes, add-on experiences, dining plans. All of those things have been canceled out for any future date. They've hit a reset button here. And so when they say, whenever before July 11th, you will be able to buy tickets for a specific park. And then from there, I think things will go forward. So if you have a Magic Kingdom reservation, only then can you book a reservation for a Magic Kingdom sit-down restaurant, if they're even operating them. But they're essentially hitting the reset button.
On that note, those hotels have been closed, I'm assuming. There's nobody in those hotels at the moment, correct?
Not right now, yeah.
And what about, have they said what the release date and the timing is on the hotels reopening? Have they done that yet or no?
They did for a moment. All they've said, all that's official now, is on June 22nd, the Disney Vacation Club properties are open to Disney Vacation Club members starting that day, and also Fort Wilderness, which is their resort and campground. But I would assume you want to have some hotels by July 11th, but at least right at this moment, they're not ready to talk about. You can't book anything right now. So you can't even book a hotel right now. They've paused all reservation.
All right, my friend. Well, will you come back and give us an update next month as things continue to emerge?
Absolutely. I've got a resort hotel booked for Universal's reopening in a couple days. So we're, us theme park people here in Orlando are very excited to get back to some sense of normal.
Absolutely. All right. Well, keep on keeping on. Thank you, my friend. Good to meet you finally.
Good to meet you too. Thanks so much.
Yes, we are hitting the open road and doing it in a very conventional way. That's why James Ashurst is here from I want to get this right, the RV Industry Association. Did I get it right?
That is correct.
All right, very good. Because there is an association, because this is a really welcoming and large, diverse community of people, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We represent not only the RV manufacturers, but also the component suppliers who build all the ovens, refrigerators, toilets, and the bedding, and all the sort of comforts of home that you would find in today's RV.
Are you seeing an increased and uptick in interest in RVing based on this pandemic?
We really are. It's been sort of a slow return, but over the course of the last month, in talking with dealers across the country, they're saying that they're looking at record sales for the month, and in talking with the manufacturers who are building these units, some of them are going to 6-day weeks to meet the demand that dealers have for product on their lots, because the consumer interest has been just that strong.
I don't know if I could drive one of those things. You got to help me out with this, Jay. I'm a good driver and all, but that's kind of a boat.
I think that certainly people have some fears about entering the marketplace. But what we find is, and what we say a lot of times is, if you can drive a U-Haul to move, you can drive an RV. And while the large diesel pushers and Class A's and Class C's, which are so prevalent in the market, really are fantastic products and are really strong sellers, 85% of the market is actually a towable product.
Really?
A lot of them are extraordinarily lightweight these days, can be pulled with a small SUV, a Subaru Ascend, or a standard SUV or pickup. So again, there are barriers to entry, but once the consumer goes and sits down and talks with a dealer or walks the lot and learns more about the product, we find that those barriers tend to fall down pretty quickly.
Well, that's going to lead me to the next question is, okay, maybe we're not going to pull the trigger on purchasing one today. Can we rent an RV and start that way?
Absolutely. The rental market is very, very strong right now. We've been doing weekly calls with various people across the industry to just sort of assess the marketplace right now.
What is it that first timers, even with a rental or a purchase, what do they communicate the most back to you?
I think what we hear so often is that this was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And that what we find is that there's a lot of sort of social sharing. It's interesting because campgrounds become sort of America's little small towns in a way. And again, obviously social distancing is very important right now, and we're not advocating that, people intermingle in large groups.
Sure.
But I think what people find is that folks are so friendly in campgrounds. Your kids jump on their bikes, they take off riding, and it's sort of this quintessential Mayberry, regardless of where you are in the country.
What would you recommend on a first-time rental? Say, we're going to go do this. We're going to try this. What do you suggest?
I think the best thing to do is to talk to whoever the rental partner is, whether or not it's one of the large national chains like a Cruise America or El Monte RV, or your local dealership that provides rental units, some of which are from those national chains, and those are the folks that are their franchisees.
Okay.
It's really hard to say one product over the other because every family is different and every traveler is different. I think it really is just providing that the company what it is that you sort of what your family situation looks like and what your needs are, and they'll work to put you in the best product.
I was just saying that's a great point, because instantly I think someone would learn, as we have doing this research, and certainly you being there, but I mean that there actually most likely is a product that will fit your specific needs for that specific trip.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the RV dealerships across the country, they're used to this. This is what they do every day. They know the questions that you're going to come with. They know the concerns that you're going to have. Rental market obviously is a lot of first timers, and a lot of people who rent then move on to buy, later on in the process as they become more comfortable with things. So a great resource for people that might be interested. We work with the dealer community or whatever and maintain a GoRVing.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's a website that has a lot of resources and answers a lot of questions that people who are considering an RV might ask. So again, that would be another area that I would strongly consider. If people were interested in learning more, GoRVing.com is a great resource for people who have questions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. James, thank you for doing this. Did we miss anything today?
No, again, it's been an exciting time, and we're a part of the travel industry, and we're hopeful that as we move forward or whatever, that all aspects of travel are going to continue to see things improve. And again, that's our big hope, because getting out and experiencing things or whatever really is healthy for everyone.
Agreed. Thank you, my friend. Always good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Considering a short vacation to the Montauk beaches is an excellent idea. That's why Kay Tyler is here. She's the executive director of the Montauk Chamber of Commerce. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel while you're at it. Kay, it's good to meet you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Nice to be here too.
It appears to me to be a glorious day out there in Montauk, and you have a lot of those each year, don't you?
We do. It's very windy a lot of the times, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Let me start by asking, why do people come there?
They come here because it's exclusive. It's pristine. It's 70% of the land is preserved. So there's not a lot of big building going on here. It's magical. It's just something about Montauk. And I can't explain it unless you're here, unless you come here.
there's something, you use the word magical. There's something magical about that light during the day, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And at sunset as well, if you're anywhere in the Bay Area, like Navy Beach area, Duryea is a great place to watch sunsets. It's expansive. It's a panoramic view that you'll never get anywhere else. It's amazing.
Yeah. Because people call it, what do they call it? The end of the world or whatever it is.
It's the end, but we call it the beginning out here.
Because it's true. I mean, you drive and you just keep going. And then when the road stops, there you are. How do you describe it to somebody that's never been there?
You know, it's funny. There's the Hamptons, and then you've got this, I think is a 6-mile stretch. I may be wrong about that. That's nothing in between the last town, Amagansett, and Montauk. And it only takes about less than 10 minutes to cross it. But everyone feels like it's a whole world to cross, and it just takes so long. But in fact, it's maybe 6 minutes or so, depending on how fast you drive it. But once you get here, there's access to so many different beaches. You've got the bay beaches, you've got the pond, then you have the ocean beaches, the town beach, etc. And ditch, where you have the famous surfer guys and girls running around with their very bare bikinis. And it's some places there's the scene and some places there isn't. And everyone's got a little spot in Montauk. There's something for everyone out here. And it's magical just being here. And you come back to the city or wherever you're coming from energized and wanting to come back for more. Montauk has so much to give to so many different people. Yeah. And that's why I think it's popular for everyone across the board. I don't think I've ever met a person that didn't like Montauk. And that's why my husband and I landed here, was we're avid surfcasters, which is probably a little unusual for a woman to be a surfcaster, but that's what made us fall in love with Montauk. And then we discovered so many other things about Montauk, and and we've been here ever since, now with 3 kids.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And again, people who haven't begun to do their research will be pleasantly surprised that Montauk has also retained its charm of what it was, but it's also grown with the times. The tourism infrastructure has been built little by little, respecting the land, i.e. the hotels and the restaurant scene and the bar scene. That's all been integrated into the experience.
Absolutely. And it's such a tight-knit community. The businesses and the community locals all work hand in hand to make sure that Montauk stays safe, beautiful, pristine for decades to come. And with every sort of beach town dealing with erosion over the years and with storms, we truly do work together to find a way to make things work out. But especially Montauk, everyone kind of comes to Montauk and feels like, oh, we're so unaffected out here and it's bliss and it's heavenly. And then they forget what they need to do. So that's what we're trying to do, is really trying to enforce that, let's be respectful of each other and helpful to each other.
Because again, the desire is there, especially now when we say, going on vacation directly supports these local economies, which it's okay to do a little research. It's okay to call the chamber and say, hey, when is your shoulder season? Because when everybody's there and you're spending $800 or $2,000 a night on a hotel room, who wants to do that? Fine, don't show up in August. That's okay. You could show up in September. You could show up in July. You could show up in these, and you guys know specifically when those times are throughout the year.
Oh, absolutely. And they're probably the best kept secrets that I probably will tell you, that September and October are the best months.
Yeah.
Damn. But they truly are. Prices are way lower than they are in the summer. Yeah. There's less people around, and the weather is truly the best time of year because it's still warm, it's still really hot, the water's warm, and it's just so beautiful.
Well, I mean, you are living proof that whatever's in the water out there is working. You and your husband and 3 children, for heaven's sakes.
that's no longer, it's a clan of people. I mean, that's not a family.
Definitely.
That's a lot
It was-
going on out there. That's awesome.
It was
Thank you.
either this or the city, and I wasn't going to do it to myself and stay in the city with 3 kids.
No, I agree. Thank you for doing this today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Come to Montauk.
Come to Montauk.
Come to Montauk one more time. Good job, Kay. By the way, if you're curious to know what the secret to the most enriching, most rewarding vacation you've ever taken, I can sum it up with one word: desire. If you want to know more about this subject matter, you can go to ericthetravelguy.com. Right on the homepage, we made a video about this little travel experiment. You might want to take a look, but desire is the word. We're a little long this week. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week. Be safe out there. Stay vacated, friends.
It's ready. Yes, it's ready. Got it all prepared. It's finished.
We post brand new videos every day in travel at noon and 4 p.m. Eastern, so hit that subscribe button to remind you, and don't forget to like and share this video as well. Hey, watch another one while you're at it.